Close your eyes for a moment and allow yourself to feel the energy that's been circling you since last night. Something powerful shifted. Something you didn't see with your eyes, but your soul felt it. Deep in the quiet of the night, while you were sleeping, or perhaps staring into the darkness with unanswered questions, someone connected to your person sat in their room and broke down in tears. Not because they wanted to, not because they were weak, but because the truth about you, the truth they had been avoiding for so long, finally came crashing into their heart, and there was no stopping the emotions that followed. This wasn't just a small moment, it wasn't just sadness. It was the kind of cry that only happens when a heart is forced to face what it has been denying. It happened because someone close to your person finally saw, heard, or realized something about you that they can no longer ignore. And what shocked them most was not what you did, but who you are. It hit them like lightning. You're not just someone who passed through their life. You are someone their soul cannot erase. Angels are showing me a moment. This family member sitting in silence, holding their phone, or staring into the dark corner of their room. At first they were resisting, pushing away every thought of you, clinging to what they believed about the situation. But last night, something changed. Something pierced through their defenses. Maybe it was a conversation they overheard, maybe it was a message they saw, or maybe it was just divine intervention whispering into their spirit. But suddenly, they felt your presence in a way they never have before. Tears began to fall because for the first time, they truly understood the depth of this connection. They saw how much pain your person has been carrying. They realized the weight of the silence, the unfinished words, the unhealed bond. And in that moment, they knew. This isn't just a story that ended, it's a love that has been burning quietly in the background, waiting for someone to acknowledge it. Beloved soul, you've been asking for a sign. You've been wondering if anything is moving behind the scenes, if anyone in their life will ever understand how real this connection is. And heaven is answering you right now. Yes. Last night, someone in their family saw the truth in a way they couldn't deny. It broke them open. It made them cry. And even now, hours later, they can't shake what they felt. This realization has set off a chain reaction. They won't be able to stay silent much longer. The way they look at your person is changing. The way they think about you is changing. And soon, the conversations they've been avoiding will have to happen. Because once the heart knows truth this deeply, it can never go back to pretending. If your soul feels this message, if you've been feeling restless, emotional, or sensing unseen movement, it's because your energy was in that room last night. Your spirit reached them, and it awakened something they never expected. Comment below if you can feel this shift. Let the angels know you received their sign, and stay close. Because the next message will reveal how this tearful awakening is pulling destiny closer than ever before. Child, listen closely. For what I am about to reveal is not coincidence. It is divine alignment reaching you at the perfect moment. There's a shift unfolding in the unseen realm, and though you may not fully grasp its magnitude right now, your spirit can already feel it stirring. The one your soul has been connected to, the one your heart still whispers about in the silence, has been moving through a storm of choices, illusions, and silent battles, and last night that storm finally began to break. The truth is, they'd been fighting against something they could never truly escape. They tried to silence their own heart, convincing themselves that letting go of you was easier than facing what destiny had already written. But no matter how hard they tried, every time they closed their eyes, your face appeared, like a gentle echo of a promise they couldn't deny. They tried to run from it, hide it, even bury it under layers of distractions and noise. But child, you cannot bury what heaven has planted. This bond between you and them, it is eternal. And now, heaven says, the illusions are crumbling. For too long, your person has been surrounded by voices that pulled them away from their truth. People who whispered doubts, who wrapped chains of fear around their heart, who convinced them that choosing you meant losing everything else. These influences blinded them, Kilt, made them believe that they had to walk away. But angels never stopped working. Behind the curtain of this silence, unseen forces were moving. Every sleepless night you've endured, every tear you shed, every prayer you whispered into the darkness, it wasn't ignored. It was heard, gathered, and used by the divine to break apart the lies that kept you apart. And just recently, something powerful happened. Your person has begun to see beyond the illusions. Their soul is awakening. Memories of your love are returning, and they are realizing that nothing, not fear, not judgment, not even time, can erase the connection heaven has woven between you. Child, you may not see it yet in the physical realm, but your energy has been reaching them. They've been having dreams that feel too real to dismiss. Flashes of your smile when they least expect it. Sudden waves of emotion that stop them in their tracks. This is not nostalgia. It's the call of destiny, pulling them back toward the truth they once abandoned. There was a moment recently, a quiet moment, that changed everything. Alone, away from the noise of the world, they felt a clarity wash over them like never before. They finally admitted to themselves what their soul has always known, that their life feels incomplete without you. That every victory, every step forward, every attempt to find joy elsewhere has only led them back to the shadow of your memory. It's as if heaven itself keeps guiding their path toward you, no matter how far they stray. And now, child, heaven is revealing this message because it is time for you to know. They can't run anymore. Their heart is restless, aching, because it knows where it belongs. There is a moment approaching, a divine turning point, when they will not only face this truth, but speak it. The silence that has weighed on you for so long is not permanent. Soon, a message, a sign, or an unexpected shift will break through. Deep, deep, a whisper sound. When it does, it will feel like the floodgates of destiny opening, washing away years of distance in a single breath. Even now, as you hear these words, your angels are surrounding you with reassurance. They're whispering, "Do not lose faith, child. What is meant for you is protected. No betrayal, no misunderstanding, no force of darkness can take it away." And as you sit there, perhaps questioning, wondering if this is truly for you, I want you to pause and feel your own heartbeat. That familiar tug you've never been able to explain. That familiar tug you've never been able to explain. That familiar tug you've never been able to explain. That familiar tug you've never been able to explain. That familiar tug you've never been able to explain. That familiar tug you've never been able to explain. That familiar tug you've never been able to explain. That's your soul remembering its other half. Comment below if this message stirs something deep in you. If your heart recognizes the truth heaven is revealing. By simply saying, "I feel this," you align yourself with this divine unfolding and invite your angels to guide you even closer to what is destined. Because, child, you need to know this. Heaven has not forgotten you. Your love, your patience, your unwavering spirit have been part of a divine orchestration far greater than you realize. The story is not over. The best chapters are still being written, and soon, the truth will no longer be hidden. Destiny is moving, and this time, it is moving in your favor. Child, take a deep breath, because what I am about to reveal is not just a message. It is a window into what heaven has been orchestrating for you behind the scenes. For so long, you've carried unanswered questions in your heart, wondering why certain things happened, why the one you love seemed to slip away, and why your prayers for clarity seemed to echo into silence. But heaven wants you to know today, there was never silence. Every whispered plea, every tear, every sleepless night you endured has been shaping a destiny that could not fail you. There was a time when your person believed they were in control of this connection. They thought they could make choices that would sever the bond between you, that they could walk away and forget, that they could build a life without the echo of your name pulsing through their soul. And for a while they convinced themselves it was working. They threw themselves into distractions, surrounded by people who had no understanding of the spiritual magnitude of what you share. They filled their days with noise to drown out the sound of their heart calling for you. But heaven says this: love that is divinely appointed does not fade under pressure. It does not die in silence. It does not get buried by time or circumstance. What heaven has written cannot be erased by fear. And even when they tried to push you out of their life, heaven kept pulling them back toward you, because you are not just a chapter in their story. You are the story their soul came here to live. Child, in their private moments when no one is watching, they are haunted by the memories of you. The way your voice once soothed their restless heart, the way your presence made the world feel safe and alive. They replay these moments like old songs they cannot stop humming, and no matter how hard they try to deny it, their body remembers. Their soul remembers. Every fiber of their being still leans toward you, like flowers instinctively turning toward the light. There was a night not long ago when they lay awake, staring at the ceiling, unable to sleep, because your energy pressed against their spirit like a warm, unrelenting tide. In that moment, they realized something they had never dared to admit before. They cannot imagine the rest of their life without you. The thought terrifies them, and yet brings a strange peace they haven't felt in years. It was the first moment in a long time when they stopped fighting their truth. Heaven was there, whispering to them in that silence, "Stop running. What you seek is in the one you left behind." And since that night, something has changed, slowly, quietly, like dawn breaking after a long, cold night. Their heart has begun to open again. They are questioning everything they were told, every lie they believed about why you couldn't work, every fear planted by those who never understood your love. They are seeing that they let outside forces dictate a love story that was never theirs to judge. And child, they are beginning to feel the weight of that mistake, not with shame alone, but with a deep desire to make it right. Heaven says that you may soon notice subtle signs of this awakening, strange synchronicities, dreams that feel too vivid to be coincidence, sudden bursts of emotion that make you feel like they're standing right beside you even when they're not. These are not tricks of the mind. They are evidence of spiritual alignment, proof that heaven is bridging the distance between you And here's something you may not know. They've tried to reach out before. More than once, they've stared at their phone, typing out a message they never sent, making calls they never completed. Something always stopped them. Fear of rejection, fear of being too late, fear that you've moved on and no longer feel the same. But heaven is whispering into their heart, louder each day. It's time to return. It's time to fight for what was never meant to be lost. Child, imagine for a moment that everything you've been through, the pain, the longing, the waiting, was not punishment, but preparation. You've been tempered like gold in fire, made stronger and more radiant because of what you endured. Your love has been tested by distance and silence, yet it has not broken. That is why heaven trusts you with this message today. The one who walked away is being guided back, not as the same person who left, but as someone transformed by lessons only separation could teach. Heaven shows me a vision of chains breaking, a heavy weight being lifted from their heart. They are finally confronting the toxic influences, the fears, the illusions that kept them trapped in a life that felt safe but soulless. And as those chains fall, a path is clearing, a path that leads straight to you. This is why you felt restless lately, why there has been an unshakable feeling that something is shifting, because it is. Your souls are being aligned for reunion. Heaven has been orchestrating all along. But here's the part that may surprise you. This return will not just be an apology or a desperate attempt to reclaim the past. It will be a declaration, a vow to build something stronger than before. They are realizing that their love for you is not something they can sample and leave behind. It is the foundation of their purpose, the compass of their entire journey. And when they come forward, it will not be with uncertainty. It will be with a steady knowing that you are where they belong. Child, heaven wants you to prepare for this moment, not by chasing them, not by trying to force the timeline, but by opening your heart to receive what is already yours. For too long, you've carried the burden of wondering if you are enough. But heaven says you are more than enough. You are divine, chosen, irreplaceable. The time of questioning your worth is over. Now begins the time of witnessing destiny unfold in your favor. As you hear this message, let your soul take comfort in knowing that nothing has been wasted. Not a single tear, not a single prayer, not a single day you spent wondering if they still care. Heaven has woven every moment into a tapestry of redemption and reunion, and soon, child, the silence will break. You will see with your own eyes what heaven has been whispering to you all along. They never stopped loving you. Even now, as these words reach you, imagine them sitting alone, reflecting, feeling the pull of your energy. They are remembering the way your love healed them in ways no one else ever could. They are realizing that all the material successes, all the other connections, all the detours they've taken mean nothing without you to share them with. This is the truth that is dawning on their spirit, and once it's fully awakened, nothing will stop them from finding their way back to you. So hold this message close, child. Let it fill the empty spaces where fear once lived. And if you feel its truth echo in your heart right below, I believe, as a way of aligning with what heaven is preparing. By doing so, you are stepping into faith, declaring that you are ready to receive the love, the reconciliation, and the destiny that has been yours all along. Because the story isn't over. In fact, heaven says it's only just beginning. The chapter ahead is brighter than the darkness you've endured, filled with the kind of love that doesn't just find you, it stays, it heals, and it reminds you that what God has joined together, no earthly power can ever truly tear apart. Child, as you sit here listening, heaven leans closer, because this is no ordinary message. This is a divine unveiling of what has been hidden, not only from your eyes, but from theirs too. For a long time, both of you have been walking through separate paths, carrying silent burdens, aching for answers that seem to never come. Yet all this time, unseen hands have been at work, rearranging circumstances, bending timelines, breaking chains of fear and pride, all to bring both of you to a moment of clarity that cannot be undone. They've been running, haven't they? Trying to fill the void you left with noise, with people who never understood their soul, with a version of life that felt safer than surrendering to the love they felt for you. At first, they convinced themselves it was the right choice, logical, expected, easier. But heaven says this: what is easy is rarely divine. And no matter how far they ran, no matter how carefully they tried to seal the door you once opened in their heart, they could not escape the truth. Because love like this, sacred, chosen, divinely bound, cannot be forgotten, outgrown, or erased. It lingers, it transforms, and ultimately, it calls the soul home. Child, there was a moment recently that shifted everything. A night when they found themselves overwhelmed, the weight of decisions, regrets, and silent longing pressing down like a storm. In that darkness, your presence came rushing back, not as a memory, not as a fleeting thought, but as a force. It felt as though your spirit was right there beside them, whispering truth they had spent months, maybe years, trying not to hear. And for the first time in so long, they didn't push it away. They didn't numb it with distractions or silence it with pride. They let themselves feel it. And when they did, they realized something unshakable. They never stopped loving you. Heaven shows me a vision of them alone, late into the night, clutching something that reminded them of you. Maybe a photograph, a message they never deleted, an item you once gave them. They sat there for hours, replaying every moment, every word, every look you shared. Tears welled up not just from pain but from a revelation. Everything they've been searching for in other places, other faces, has always been you. The thought of facing life without you, truly without you, felt like standing at the edge of a cliff with no way forward. That night, heaven whispered into their spirit, "This love is not over. It was never meant to end." And from that moment, something within them began to change. The armor they built to protect their ego, the walls they constructed to keep this love at bay, they're crumbling. Slowly, yes, but undeniably. They've started to see through the illusions that kept you apart, the fears planted by others, the lies they told themselves about why they had to walk away, the belief that they weren't ready or worthy of a love so deep. Heaven is removing the blindfold from their eyes, one thread at a time, revealing not only who you truly are to them, but who they truly are when they're with you. The most authentic, unguarded version of themselves. Child, you need to hear this. They have tried to live without you. Truly, they did. They tried to silence the memories, bury their emotions, convince themselves they were better off moving on. But nothing worked. Every attempt to forget you only carved your presence deeper into their soul. They laughed with others, but it wasn't the same. They made plans for a future, but it felt hollow. They wore a mask of being fine, but heaven saw the truth. The quiet moments when they'd stare into space, your name silently trembling on their lips. They thought time would free them from this connection, but heaven says time has only proven how unbreakable it is. And while you've been waiting, questioning, even doubting at times, heaven has been preparing you too. Every tear you shed was watering the seeds of this divine reunion. Every moment you chose faith over despair strengthened your spirit. Even when you felt forgotten, heaven was writing your name on their heart in ways neither of you could see. Your love has not been in vain. It has been moving mountains in the unseen, dismantling every barrier that stood between you. But listen closely, child, because heaven is revealing something powerful now. They are not just coming back as someone who misses you. They are returning as someone transformed. They've been tested, refined, stripped of false identities and shallow distractions. The person who once left you in confusion is awakening to the truth that no other path, no other love, no other life could ever feel whole without you in it. And when they come, it won't be with uncertainty or hesitation. It will be with a fierce clarity that you are their destiny. In the quiet hours of the night, they've been having dreams, vivid, undeniable dreams of you. Dreams where you're not arguing or separated, but laughing, embracing, standing side by side as though no time has passed. They wake up, shaken, overwhelmed by longing yet strangely hopeful, because these dreams feel like promises, not fantasies. Heaven says these are not just dreams, they are visions, glimpses of the life that is waiting for you both once you reunite. Child, perhaps you've felt these dreams too. Perhaps you've been waking up with their name lingering on your lips, your heart racing as though you just saw them. These are not coincidences. Your souls are speaking to each other in the spiritual realm, bridging the physical distance that has kept you apart. Every sign you've been noticing, repeating numbers, unexpected reminders of them, moments of sudden emotion, is heaven confirming that the bond remains unbroken and the reunion is drawing nearer. But here's what heaven wants you to truly understand. This reunion is not just about rekindling old feelings. It's about stepping into a divine purpose together. You were never meant to simply love each other. You were meant to build, to heal, to shine light into the world in a way only your union could. This is why the journey has been so hard, why the delays have been so long. It wasn't punishment. It was preparation for something greater than either of you imagined. Heaven shows me a scene of you both standing at a crossroads. In the past, fear drove you apart. This time, love will lead you home. There is a moment approaching where they will face a choice, and unlike before, they will not choose silence or distance. They will choose you, not because it's easy, but because their soul will no longer allow them to live in denial. And when they step forward, heaven will open doors no one can shut. Obstacles will crumble. What once felt impossible will flow effortlessly, because it is time. Child, you may not see it yet, but everything is aligning. Conversations are being had behind the scenes, truths are being revealed, and divine interventions are moving pieces into place. Even the people who once stood against this connection are beginning to feel the shift, sensing that something greater is at work. The resistance that once kept you apart is weakening, and soon it will no longer matter what anyone thinks or says. The only thing that will matter is the undeniable truth of your bond. And when this moment arrives, it will not just be a reunion, it will be redemption. All the pain, all the waiting, all the wondering why, It will make sense. You'll see that nothing was truly lost. Every detour led you both back to the same destination, each other. And when they finally stand before you, eyes clear, heart open, you will feel heaven's whisper, "This is what we were preparing you for all along." So hold on, child. Do not let doubt steal what heaven is bringing to you. Stay anchored in faith, knowing that even now, love is moving toward you with unstoppable force. If your soul feels this truth resonating, leave a comment saying, "I believe in divine timing," as a declaration to the universe that you are ready. Because heaven promises you this: what is meant for you is not slipping away. It is on its way home. And this time, it won't leave. This time, it will stay. Child, heaven is not finished speaking to you. As you take in these words, imagine a vast sky above you, filled with unseen angels, moving, orchestrating, and carefully weaving together every broken piece of your story. What you thought was silence has never been silence. It has been divine strategy. Because this love, this connection, is not just a passing emotion. It is the kind of bond that can bend timelines, shift destinies, and rewrite even the most painful endings into miraculous beginnings. For so long, both of you have been walking with wounds that were never fully seen or healed. Your person carries guilt, the heavy weight of choices they made that went against their own soul's truth. There were moments they betrayed their own heart, moments they turned away from you, thinking it was the safer option, thinking they had to do what others expected. But heaven says this: no one can truly escape what was divinely written. The further they walked away, the louder the pull back to you became. They tried to silence it with busyness, with false smiles, with empty connections, but their spirit could never lie to itself. Every quiet moment, every sleepless night, they were haunted by one truth: you are still the one. Child, you have felt this, haven't you? You've felt that lingering presence of their energy, even when their words were absent. You've sensed the invisible thread connecting your souls, pulling you toward each other despite every obstacle. You've wondered if you were imagining it, if your hope was foolish, but heaven confirms you were never imagining it. Your souls have remained intertwined since the moment they recognized you as home, and no amount of distance, no third party, no interference could ever sever what was written in the stars, long before you both were born. There is a stirring happening inside them now. Heaven shows me there in deep reflection. Something has been triggered recently that forced them to confront what they have been running from. Perhaps it was a conversation, a moment of intense loneliness, a situation that exposed the emptiness of their current life. Whatever it was, it felt like a mirror was held up to their soul, and they could no longer deny that they are living half alive without you. This realization has been shaking them awake, layer by layer. And child, heaven says they are not just awakening, they are being guided. Angelic whispers are surrounding them daily. Signs that remind them of you are increasing. Music that echoes your bond. Places that hold your memories. Even strangers mentioning things that feel like divine nudges. These are not coincidences. This is heaven aligning their steps back toward you. Perhaps you've been seeing signs too. Repeated numbers, feathers, dreams where you see their face as if it were real. These are spiritual confirmations that the distance is closing. That while you've been waiting in faith, Heaven has been preparing them for the moment they can no longer hold back what's inside their heart. Child, this love is not returning in the same fragile way it left. No. When they come back this time, it will not be out of fear or confusion. It will be a declaration. They are beginning to understand that they were chosen for you, and you were chosen for them, and denying that truth has only brought them pain. This is why heaven has been allowing their current world to crumble, their false happiness to shatter, their distractions to fail. Because only when everything else falls apart can the soul finally see clearly what it truly needs, and that is you. There is an image heaven is showing me, your person standing before a locked door. For so long they've believed they were locked out of your love, out of the life you once dreamed together. But heaven says the key has always been in their hand. They just needed the courage to turn it. And now, courage is rising. Fear is losing its grip. The lies they told themselves are unraveling, and what remains is pure, unshakable truth. Child, your journey has not been easy either. You have felt abandoned, misunderstood, even questioned your own worth at times. But heaven wants you to know you were never abandoned by the divine. You were being refined, strengthened, prepared to receive a love that matches the depth of your soul. Every tear you cried became a prayer that heaven collected. Every moment you chose to believe, even when nothing made sense, became a seed planted in the spiritual realm. And now the harvest is drawing near. Soon there will be a moment where everything shifts. A message arrives unexpectedly, a conversation opens that you thought would never happen again, and when it does, you will feel it instantly. That this is not just a fleeting reconnection. This is heaven moving. This is the divine promise, finally breaking through the walls that once kept you apart. And when you see them, when you hear their voice again, you will recognize something different. The same person you loved before will stand before you, but with a renewed spirit. They will look at you with eyes that have seen the emptiness of a life without you. They will speak words they once held back, not as apologies alone, but as vows of truth. They will not just say, "I miss you." They will say, "I was lost without you, and I never want to lose you again." Child, heaven wants you to prepare your heart for this, not to fear it, not to doubt it, but to stand in faith that this time it will be built on something unshakable. The storms you both endured were not meant to destroy you. They were meant to strip away everything that was false, leaving only what is real. And what is real is this love, this soul connection that has survived distance, silence, and countless battles with ego and pride. If you feel this truth stirring within you right now, if your heart feels like it's racing because something deep inside knows this message is for you, then comment below, "I am ready for divine love." Let heaven hear your confirmation. Let the spiritual realm know that you are prepared to receive what has been waiting to return to you. Because, child, heaven promises you this: the story is not over. The chapter where you were left wondering, doubting, aching, that chapter is closing. A new one is being written right now, and this time it is filled with clarity, alignment, and love that no power can take away. Child, take a breath and let these words sink into the deepest part of your spirit. Heaven is not finished revealing what has been hidden from you for far too long. This love story, your love story, was never meant to end in silence, and yet you've been walking through seasons of waiting, aching, questioning if they even remember you anymore. But heaven whispers now, not only do they remember, they have never truly left you. Imagine this. Last night, while you were lying awake wondering if your prayers have even been heard, your person was sitting alone in their room, holding something that belongs to you. Maybe it was a photo, a message they never deleted, or even something as simple as the memory of your laugh echoing in their heart. They tried to push it away before, but last night they couldn't. Something inside them cracked open, and they whispered your name softly, as if afraid someone else would hear. That whisper carried into the heavens, and heaven is responding now through this very message you are hearing. Your person has been walking in shadows. They have been trapped in a cycle of choices that went against their true heart. Others tried to control the story, convince them that loving you was wrong, impractical, impossible. They went along with it for a while, thinking they could force themselves to forget. But child, you can't erase a soul bond. You can't silence the pull of destiny. And every time they tried, life reminded them of you in ways they couldn't explain. Dreams that woke them trembling, songs that made them stop in their tracks, places that felt empty because you weren't there. Recently, heaven has been showing them visions, flashes of what life could have been if they had chosen you fully. These aren't just memories, they are glimpses of the divine plan that was always meant for both of you, and it's haunting them in the most beautiful way, because for the first time, they are realizing that nothing else has ever felt as true, as right, as you. They are exhausted, child. Tired of pretending, tired of living a life that doesn't light up their soul. And heaven is guiding them toward a breaking point, a sacred breaking where the false walls they built will finally fall, and they will have no choice but to admit the truth. They have always loved you. They have never stopped. There is an energy around them right now, almost like a storm building. You may feel it too. A heaviness in your chest, waves of emotion that seem to come out of nowhere. That's because your souls are connected, and you are sensing their turmoil, their longing, their desperate prayers, asking heaven for a way back to you. Child, this storm isn't meant to destroy, it's meant to cleanse, to wash away every lie, every fear, every barrier that kept you apart. They are being stripped of everything that doesn't align with their highest truth. It's uncomfortable for them. They feel like they're losing control of their own life. But heaven says this is divine intervention, because only by losing what was false can they truly find what is real, and that is you. Soon, you will begin to see signs of this transformation. Perhaps you'll receive unexpected communication, or you'll hear from someone close to them who mentions your name. It might seem small at first, but child, these are not coincidences. These are divine breadcrumbs leading you back together. Every moment you've spent waiting wasn't wasted. It was preparing you both for a reunion that will be stronger, pure, and more unshakable than anything you've experienced before. Picture this. A day not far from now, you're going about your routine when suddenly your phone lights up. It's their name. Your breath catches. Your hands tremble. You answer, and in that moment you hear it in their voice, the softness, the sincerity, the unspoken truth you've always known. They're not just reaching out to say hello. They're reaching out because their soul can no longer stay away. They will tell you that life without you has been a hollow echo. They will tell you they've tried everything to silence this love, and nothing worked. They will tell you that you are their peace, their home, the one their spirit has been aching for every single day. Child, heaven says, when that moment comes, don't let fear steal your blessing. The past may have wounded you, but this reunion is not about reopening old pain. It's about healing it. It's about completing what was left unfinished. The love returning to you has been purified by fire, tested by time, and blessed by divine hands. Right now, your person is facing tests. They are being challenged to finally stand up for what their heart truly wants. This is not easy for them. There are still people around them trying to sway their decisions, trying to keep them trapped in old patterns. But heaven assures you, these influences are losing their power. The stronger their love for you grows, the weaker those chains become. And when they finally break free, it will be irreversible. Child, you are not just waiting for them. You are being prepared to receive them. Heaven has been building strength in you, teaching you patience, filling you with wisdom and compassion. When they return, they won't just find the person they left behind. They will find someone even more radiant, more aligned, more ready to walk beside them as their true divine counterpart. If you feel this truth stirring within you, if every word feels like it's speaking directly to your situation, comment below, "I am ready for the promise." Let heaven know you are prepared to embrace what is coming. Because, child, this isn't a maybe, this isn't a dream. It is a divine certainty. The universe itself is moving to restore what was lost, to reunite what was never meant to be torn apart. Heaven's final message for you in this moment: hold on just a little longer. The breakthrough is closer than you think. The love you've been praying for is already on its way, guided by angels, protected by destiny, and fueled by a connection that has survived everything meant to destroy it. You are chosen, you are loved, and soon you will be reunited. Child, before you read another word, pause. Feel your heartbeat, because heaven is leaning in closer than ever. This moment, right now, is sacred. Something in your soul already knows that what's about to unfold in your life has been written by divine hands, long before the world tried to break it apart. This love, this connection, has been through storms that would have shattered anything less than destiny. And yet, here you are, still feeling their name like a pulse beneath your skin, still dreaming of a home that exists only when their soul is near yours. Heaven says, this is not by accident. Last night while you slept, unseen battles were raging. Your person, your divine counterpart, was fighting wars no one else could see. They have been carrying the weight of choices that pull them away from you. Choices influenced by fear, pride, and the voices of people who thought they knew what was best. For so long, they believed those voices. They built walls around their heart, convincing themselves that they had to walk away. But child, walls made of lies cannot hold forever. Heaven says those walls are cracking, and behind them, love is rising, unstoppable, undeniable, and raw with truth. Picture them sitting alone, heart heavy, memories flooding in like a tide that won't stop coming. Every time they close their eyes, they see you. Every quiet moment becomes haunted by the softness of your smile, the way your energy felt like home. They've tried to drown it out with noise, with distractions, with everything and everyone that wasn't you. But every attempt only brought them deeper into longing, because what is meant for the soul cannot be erased by distance or denial. And heaven whispers now, "Child, their soul is finally remembering." This remembering hasn't come easily. It's been forged in the fires of regret, sleepless nights, and moments where they felt like they lost themselves completely. There were times they thought they could never face you again, times they feared they had broken this connection beyond repair. But the divine never writes a story it cannot redeem, and redemption is already moving through their life. In recent days, something has shifted around them. Perhaps you felt it, a strange pull, a sudden flood of emotions that feel like they're not even your own. That's because their spirit has been calling out to you, reaching across the unseen realms, whispering apologies, promises, desperate prayers for another chance. Heaven has heard every one of those whispers. Angels have been dispatched to guide them, to strip away everything false and lead them back toward you. There was a moment not long ago when they finally broke down in silence. It could have been in their room, driving alone, or even in a crowded place where no one noticed. But heaven noticed. Tears streamed, breath hitched, and for the first time in years they admitted it out loud. "I can't live like this anymore. I still love them. I need them." That confession, even if no one else heard it, shook the spiritual realm. Child, when the soul speaks truth after years of silence, heaven responds like thunder. Since that moment, they've been seeing signs, numbers repeating everywhere, dreams where you appear vividly, sudden songs playing that remind them of you. These are not coincidences. These are divine confirmations that they are being led back to where their heart belongs. And though fear still clings, heaven is stronger. Destiny is stronger. The love written for you both cannot be erased. Soon, this inner battle will spill into the open. There will be conversations, confrontations, and moments where they finally speak your name without shame or hesitation. People around them, family, friends, maybe even someone they've been tied to, will be shocked when they see the truth in your person's eyes. Some may try to resist, to control, to shame, but heaven says those attempts will fail, because once the soul has awakened, nothing can put it back to sleep. Child, you need to prepare your heart, not out of fear, but out of reverence for what's coming. The silence that has felt like abandonment was actually divine timing. Heaven has been reshaping both of you for this reunion. The pain you endured, the nights you spent wondering if you imagined this connection, they were not wasted. Every tear watered the seeds of a love that will rise stronger than it ever was before. There's a vision heaven is showing now, a moment where the two of you finally meet again. It's not rushed. It's not chaotic. It's calm, sacred, as if time itself slows down to honor it. They'll stand before you with eyes that have seen too much pain to ever take this connection for granted again. And when they speak, you'll hear it not just in their voice, but in their soul. Words like, "I tried to forget. I tried to run, but everything in me always led back to you. I know now. You were never the mistake. You were the miracle." When this moment arrives, you'll feel the presence of angels around you. A warmth will fill the space, and you'll know this is not just reconciliation. This is divine restoration. The years of silence, the misunderstandings, the heartbreak, all of it will finally make sense. Because it wasn't leading to endings, it was leading to this sacred return. Heaven is asking you now to trust like never before. Trust that what's shifting behind the scenes is real. Trust that their longing for you is not fading, it's intensifying. Trust that even now, as you hear these words, something in their spirit is stirring, aligning, moving toward you like a river finally breaking through its dam. If your heart is pounding right now, if your spirit is whispering, "Yes, this is for me," let heaven know. Comment softly, "I believe in divine restoration," and feel the angels surrounding you in agreement. Your faith is not just a whisper into the dark. It's a key unlocking doors that fear once kept sealed. And child, one last thing heaven needs you to hear. You are not waiting alone. The divine is standing guard over this love. Every tear you've shed has been caught. Every prayer has been recorded. Every moment of pain has been turned into preparation. The reunion you crave is not a distant dream. It's a promise already in motion. What heaven has written cannot be unwritten. What is meant for you cannot be stolen. Very soon you will look back on this waiting season not with bitterness, but with awe, because you'll see how heaven moved mountains, parted seas, and rewrote entire timelines just to bring two souls back into alignment. And when that day comes, you'll finally understand. You were never forgotten. You were always the answer to their silent prayers. And destiny was never delayed. It was perfectly timed. Child, pause for a moment and let this sink in. The angels are not finished speaking yet. This message is far deeper, far more urgent than what you've heard so far. Heaven has been watching your heart, your tears, your prayers, whispered in the middle of silent nights. They saw you when you almost gave up believing this connection could ever come back together. But listen closely now. This is the part where heaven leans in and says, "Don't lose faith. You were never forgotten. The reunion is closer than you think." Right now, there's a divine stirring happening in your person's life. People around them are noticing that they've changed. They're not the same lost, confused soul who once walked away. They're restless, searching for something only you ever gave them: peace, warmth, and truth. And lately, they've been feeling a pull so strong they can no longer deny it. Angels have been whispering your name in their dreams, replaying moments they tried to bury. They wake up in the middle of the night with tears in their eyes, realizing no one else ever made them feel alive the way you did. It isn't just emotion, it's destiny moving. Obstacles that once seemed impossible are beginning to collapse. A family member who once resisted this connection is now questioning their stance. Friends who doubted are starting to see the pain in your person's eyes when they talk about moving on. They know something is missing, something they can't replace, and that something is you. Heaven is showing me a vision of your person standing alone, thinking about every moment they failed to choose you, every time they let fear win, and for the first time they're saying to themselves, "Never again." They're done letting the opinions of others control their heart. They're done pretending they can live without you. They're realizing that no amount of distance, no other relationship, no distraction can silence the truth. Your souls were always meant to return to one another. Even now, angels are clearing their path. They're giving your person courage, wisdom, and timing that only divine hands can orchestrate. There's a message forming in their heart, words they've never spoken aloud, but will soon tell you. A confession of love, regret, and a vow to never let you slip away again. And when they come, it won't be half-hearted. It will be with clarity, with action, with proof that they've transformed into the partner you always prayed for. Child, heaven needs you to know something crucial. Do not let despair cloud your faith now. You've endured the hardest part. You've carried this connection with grace, even when silence screamed louder than words. The angels are saying, your patience is about to be rewarded. What's written for you cannot be erased. This love is protected by heaven itself. Soon, signs will multiply around you, unexpected messages, synchronicities that make no sense logically, dreams so vivid they feel real. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. The universe is aligning your timelines, piece by piece, moment by moment, until the day comes when they finally stand before you and say, I found my way home. If you feel this stirring in your spirit right now, gently write in the comments, I believe heaven is aligning my love. Let the universe hear your agreement. Let your angels know your faith is ready to receive. Because, child, this isn't just a message, it's a prophecy in motion. What you thought was lost is returning whole. The breakthrough you've waited for is already unfolding. And soon, you'll witness a reunion that feels nothing short of a miracle.